What's up, guys? This is Untitled 7 RCT Gaming bringing you another video. I hope you guys are doing well out there. I'm doing this video because I have been approached various times already and requested me to do a tutorial video on how to add packs to builds, whether it's Core or Obsidian or even CoinOps. For some reason there is some sort of problem or confusion, or people are not taking the time to read well enough that for some reason they're messing up their builds when they add a certain pack. Another thing is the need to explain how to create a pack. It's going to be very similar, at least when it comes to pack creation. The certain folder types that you need to have within your pack if you're creating one, and certain files and structure that you need to follow. Now, that, one more time, does not mean that one pack is completely compatible with others. Why? Because I'm going to show you here real quick a open build. On the right side you have Obsidian 3D, and on the left side you have Core. These are my builds, the way that I have them. You're gonna see maybe one or two things different, maybe in the title or whatever, because I like to keep things organized and I have them named a certain way so I can find them real quick. But aside from that, the structure, what you're gonna find in here inside of the build, this is the root folder of each. That's another concept that for whatever reason people get mixed up. The root folder is basically the first folder you're gonna find. This is the build, you go in, boom. This is the root folder. You recognize the root folder because you're going to see collections, Core, Emulator Folder, perhaps a Joy to Key. It all depends on what packs you add. Launchers, windows required. Layouts, of course, that's what's going to organize the build. The art, where everything has to go. A meta folder, and in the case of Core, a theme switch, because of course that's the big thing with Core. It is a theme switcher, so you're gonna find this here. You're not gonna find it on Obsidian because it's not the same damn thing. Now I know I sound a little tense or stressed saying this, but it is the little things, the small things, the little details that usually gets us, and we end up messing up our build that we take so much time and care to put together and add the stuff that we like, just to mess it up with a dumb mistake. Okay, but I digress. Let's go back to this. Now let me open here. I have open here a pack for Core and another pack, example packs, for Obsidian. Same rule applies. You're gonna see the same standard folders inside of a pack. Now there are times when you download a pack and you find not this, but you find a folder with the name perhaps of what kind of system it does, what kind of games it has, whatever. That is not what you're looking for. You're looking for this. So if there's a folder, if you double click on the file to get here and you didn't reach here, double click again in that other folder that you may find and just look for this. Now once you're here, as you can see, do not, by any means, do not take a Core pack and try to extract it on an Obsidian, because it's not gonna work. Why is it not going to work? Allow me to explain. Right here you have the packs, right? First the extraction, and then I'll go by why you shouldn't combine them. Extracting is simple. You're here. If you don't want to go ahead and drag and do this and just extract to the root, then you have other options. But you can do this, either drag it, or you can go to extract to, this right here. It's going to open up another menu, and then you're going to look for the target folder. You're going to look for that. In my case, I have it here. Let's go to core builds, core final. That's where it would go. That's in case you don't want to make the mistake of dragging something and something does not go into the folder. Then you hit OK, and that's it. Since I already have this, of course, I'm not going to do it. Same thing applies with this. If you don't want to drag all the folders into the root folder, then you go by extract and you tell it exactly where you want to, and the program, the software is going to do it for you. There's no room for mess ups. Now, another thing that I tend to add personally on my readmes, but people do not, for some reason they don't read it or they don't pay attention, is a good hint or a good way to know that you're in the correct section, let's say, of the file that you're trying to extract, and also the root folder. You're gonna notice, like I have here, I have emulator launchers made a collection. Am I in the root folder? Let me see. Is there a collections? Yes. Is there a meta? Yes, it's right here. Launchers, launchers, emulators, emulators. So I know that what I have here for the pack, I know I am in the root folder, and I know what are the files that I'm supposed to extract. Just extract it, and that's it. That's all that it takes for you to add a pack. Now, why you shouldn't mix these up, even though these are highly compatible, some get, most of the games and certain assets like videos and stuff like that, you can use with another, but you cannot simply drag these into Obsidian because it's not going to work. The reason it doesn't work is because even though they both use ROBFLIX as the backend, as I mentioned earlier, layouts for each one, since they do different things, similar, but they are different in the way that they present them, the layouts are going to be different. The sizes and instructions given are going to be different because they do different things. So of course, even though they're named the same way, the folder, if we go here, let's say medium artwork, which is where basically in the collection where the art is going to be stored for each one. As you can see here, this is very different. On the Obsidian side, all you need for art assets in medium folder is a box 3D, a video folder, and a story folder. In this case, there's more stuff going on here because this is configured in a way to allow for more things to happen. So of course, in this case, Obsidian does not need logos because it does not use them. It uses the box 3D to present the game. Here you need a logo folder to store the logos, of course. You're gonna find them in here. So please do not try to mix. This applies with any other build that you have. It could be CoinOps, it could be Obsidian, it could be Core, it could be anything. Even from Team Retro, that they're using something else. They use ROBFLIX, but it's the same thing. Do not mix and match the packs that are made for one to the other. Now, I've taken a lot of time explaining that. Let me see if I have anything left to explain about how to create a pack. I've said it many times before, and this is the only way that I can explain it. If you go to the ROBFLIX site, it gives you a complete rundown of how to create a pack and how to have ROBFLIX create the folders for you. Alright, so in this next part, I'm going to try to explain to you guys what do you need in order to get a pack done if you want to create one. Now I'm going to use Core as an example, and I'm going to post here. I have them open. These are the guidelines. Now pause the video so you can read basically what you need in order to create a pack. There's certain things here that are very important, like of course you're gonna need a folder with collection name, like the pack that I had open earlier Sega Ages, well, it's Sega Ages. The collection name is going to be in the principal folder, and then from there, inside that folder, you're going to need a system artwork folder, a medium artwork folder. You're going to need a ROMs folder, of course, because that's where the games are going to go. You're going to need a settings configure file, and that's going to adjust basically the extensions that you're going to need for the game, and some other information. You're going to need a launcher Windows folder. So you have a collection folder up here, a launchers Windows folder down here, and within that folder you're going to have a file that's going to have the system that's going to be running, or the collection that's going to be running, ending with this extension. And in that configure file, there's going to be the path to the emulator, and of course the path to where the ROMs are, and some other information like where the paths are for the art and stuff like that. The emulator folder, because of course that's where the emulator is gonna reside, and a meta folder. So you have this, and this as the main folders that you're going to need for whatever pack you're trying to create. Now, to make a slight comparison here, let's go quickly and use as an example my recent PSP pack for Core. As you can see, just like it says here, collection name, have the collection, and inside the collection you have the medium artwork, system artwork like it's here, the ROMs folder, settings configuration 2. All of the other stuff here doesn't really matter, playlists and stuff like that doesn't really matter, but these are the required folders that you need to have. These three and this configuration settings. This, of course, it doesn't mention it here because this is not into the pack creation itself, but basically where you want your collection to appear. So of course, since I want mine to appear in the one handheld section of the build, which I'm going to bring it up here, since I want it to appear, my Sony PSP build, I want it to appear in handheld. You can see here in the menu there are different things that are going to appear in the handheld section, like Atari Lynx, Nintendo 3DS, DS, etc. So I want mine to appear. So you see I have a Sony PSP text, which is just a blank text. This is just so Core identifies and sees that I want the Sony PSP to show. So basically that's all I include. The menu folder, so I tell it where to go, and my text. Now that I've done that, I verify. This is not necessary, but it's there. Medium artwork, let me see, I have my artwork, it's right here. Basically Core uses artwork front. It can use all of these, but you need to adjust for it, you need to configure it. But for now, all that it needs is really the artwork front, the story, of course, because you need the story for each game, video folder with each of the videos, and now we're adding fan art. So if you don't have a fan art folder, you can create one and add basically with the name of the game. It could be JPEG or PNG, it doesn't matter. And as long as you have that folder inside your collection, the artwork is going to appear, especially in themes like Atlas, where you get to see that artwork while you select the game. And of course a logo folder, because you want the name of the game to appear with an image. It has to be a PNG. So yeah, basically that is what you need. You have extra files like include or exclude. These are here, but really not necessary unless you want to hide a game with exclude or include some extra games or whatever with include text, but are really not needed. But this settings folder is very important. The settings configuration is very important, just like the ROM, system, medium folders to be there. Now the emulator folder. Let's go back to the root. You see emulators, where all the emulators are going to go in. You need to have the one that you're going to be using to power your pack. In my case, I included one. Why? Because I went ahead and I did this pack before the top 25 arrived. More than likely the top 25 is going to use RetroArch. So let's suppose that had come out. All I had to do, I wouldn't need to use the emulators folder. I would just include collections and the launchers, and that would be it. So I'm hoping at least that gives you an idea of what you need. If in doubt, or if you're creating a pack and for some reason it doesn't work and you feel a little bit doubtful, at least as far as core is concerned, once again take a look at this, and even better, go to RetroFE and read which is the process that you need to follow in order to get a pack that you want to add to your build as complete as possible, so you don't have stuff missing. Of course, this is a thing of practice more than anything. So if I could do it, I mean anybody else can. I use core as an example today, but the same method of doing things apply for each one. You just need to sit down and examine exactly what does it require for that particular build. If you're creating something for Obsidian, look at all the files and folders that are needed by looking at the packs that already exist in the build. That is the best advice that I can give you without, going crazy and start mumbling and stuff. Observe the file structure, observe what goes into what folder, and then start from there. You already know, I already showed you here what are the basic folders and files that you need to create your pack. Start experimenting. The best rule for me that has worked so far is basically making a copy of the current build that I have, or even better, a base build, and just have several copies of that so you can practice adding stuff before committing to actually wanting to create a pack and then trying to upload it as quick as possible. That's not going to work, because you're going to run into a lot of trouble. Hopefully this video will help. If not, please drop a comment, add to whatever I might have missed. I really enjoy you guys engaging and trying to figure stuff out. This is part of the fun. So I'll check you guys later. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.